What is up, Peeps? Coach Kev here. How are we doing on this Monday night, February the 23rd? We got cold weather here again. It's actually snowing a little bit. We didn't get any of the accumulation that a lot of other places got, New York, New Jersey, stuff like that. So I'm downstairs today in front of the lovely Miss Brooks bar, and hopefully my internet is a little better. I was having problems with StreamYard before, but anyways, I'll say hi to everyone here in a moment. But as most of you know that followed me, I got a new job within the fire department. I am now the fire chief for the city of McKeesport, and it's an honor. It's a lot of work. We've been putting in some long days, but getting stuff done. Morale's going up from where it was, and kind of giving the power back to the guys that it should have had it before, and doing whatever I can do to help them stay safe. I shared my video about the class that I had. That's TRUSA, TRUSA, Healing the Hero. Those guys were absolutely fantastic, and it's a way to kind of reset your brain. And we've talked before about primal things, body language, lizard brain, front pre-cortex, that type of stuff, going back and forth. So it's very interesting stuff, and it helped quite a few of us. And hopefully we're helping a guy right now. But past that, it's been very exciting. I get to talk to a lot of people, which you guys know, there's few people in the world that like to talk probably as much as I do. But I enjoy interaction with people, especially different people, older people, younger people, people that aren't the same color as me, people who don't have the same background as me. I find it very interesting, and I love to just interact. So doing a lot of cool stuff with the school. I'll be sharing some new stuff that's happening Wednesday with my school board stuff and being fire chief for donating gear. They started a program before I got there called the Protective Services Program, where in 9th grade, these kids start learning about being fire, police, and EMS. And then hopefully they get into these fields when they graduate. We could help them find jobs, and hopefully we get to the point where we hire some of these kids here in the city, which would be absolutely outstanding. Team USA, what a win yesterday. Fantastic. I'm not a huge hockey fan, but I watched that from pretty much start to finish, and it was very entertaining, a tremendous game. Always cool when something like that happens. And I noticed that the younger kids are less and less into the Olympics. Like my grandparents, they didn't miss certain things and certain events. And then, my mom ended up watching the figure skating. They were, certain things that they wanted to watch. I still enjoy the summer probably better. Basketball, obviously. I like the track and field. Who's the fastest man in the world, fastest woman in the world, those events. So, but it is what it is. But a great win, for the first time. And it was to the date, and it was over 40 years, almost 50 years, huh? Yeah, it was going to be almost 50 years that we won a gold medal. So a big one there. Saturday night, my Michigan Wolverines lost to Duke. But if you've been following college basketball, you'll know that they're the best team in the country. Doesn't mean they're going to win, because the best team in the country doesn't always win the national championship. And that's one of the things that's so great about the tournament, I think. But evening, Mustang, how are you? Jinx always there. Like, share, subscribe. Good to see you, Jinx. Good to see you, Louise. You don't need to send us the snow you got, Jinx. We've had our fill already for this winter. We got spoiled a couple winters in a row, but we've had some extreme cold and we've had some snow. We didn't get the 30 inches that some people got, but yeah, we had a couple nice days, and it's almost depressing when you get a couple nice days. What is up, Gibbo? Good to see you. Thank you, everyone, for your congratulations. You get those couple nice days, it almost teases you. We can't wait to get out. We got a new patio last year, and yeah, there you go. I'm not a Duke fan either. I've always hated Duke. Since they beat my guys, they beat them a couple of different times. Michigan got them back once during the regular season. And, things happen. We had trouble with Carolina, too. But anyways, we're here tonight to talk about the Nancy Guthrie case. So I have a couple pictures here I'm going to bring up. Just give me a second. Remove. So a lot of you obviously have seen the video. Let me get rid of this. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. You've seen the video, you've seen the pictures. I have both to show you, to talk. But there's a couple things that I would like to add. I put something up on Facebook. Let me get back to this. I'm not sure exactly how long ago it was, maybe a week or 10 days ago, about, maybe what I thought was happening. Let's get into this tab. There we go. Get into my email, my Gmail, which I primarily use for this. Yeah. We have, let me see. That's our home timeline. We can watch this. So we all know that she's the 84-year-old mother of Savannah Guthrie, host of the Today Show. We're going to mute that. And we're just going to look at this here. Let me bring it up. This is a Fox 10 Phoenix. Did a really good job, if you ask me, on this video here. So you're seeing all three things, right? We're seeing all three things. Let's make sure. Let me check it on StreamYard here. There, yeah, good. We're good. Just wanted to make sure I was showing the right thing. So there's a couple of different things here, a couple of different things people notice. The guy, apparently he's trying to cover the bush or foliage, right? So you would think that someone that knows this camera's there and someone that has experience in this type of thing would bring spray paint's probably the easiest. I've heard other people mention tape and put a piece of tape over it. And bush is not, if you go to jail and you talk to people, maybe not in jail, maybe you find people that weren't caught and they were really, really good at what they did, and say, what did you do if you had a camera? Would it be to, cover it with a bush? Cover it with your hand. Even the way he's covering with his hand, it's an odd way to do it, right? Why are you doing it that way? Why wouldn't you cover it like this? I've heard people say, and I don't know if I subscribe to this theory, that there's some kind of communication going on into his watch, into something, something that's there that he's communicating into. I don't know about that. But if I was blocking a camera, that's just me. I wouldn't do it that way. I would do it that way. In other parts of the country or other parts of the world, is it different than what we do here with our hands? Maybe we put up something like this if someone gets in our way or something we don't want to see, where maybe we go like this here or something like that. I'm sure that they're looking into something as subtle as that. If you remember the movie, and it's an absolutely tremendous movie, I think it was Glorious Bastards, when they're down in that hall area with the Nazis and they're acting like Nazis, he orders 3 drinks or says something to that effect, and he goes like this, I'll have 3. And that Nazi commander knew right away, wait a minute, we go like this over here. Just to give you, and I'm pretty sure it was in Glorious Bastards that was in, where they were down in that, they set that scene up in that basement type bar. If I was wrong with the movie, I'll check in here, but it's odd, it's bizarre. You're not going to cover a plant. What a plant is good. I don't understand it, but here's what I think. I told you guys, multiple people, one of them has some kind of medical background. The reason I think this is because they knew Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy, had all these medical conditions. Now, they said they left the medicine at the house. Would it be easy to bring the medicine at the house? Sure, I would think that too. But as we get into this, maybe there was a plan to take her and keep her for a while, for different reasons. Just a theory, just a thought. So again, you look at the backpack, the mask, all that stuff, the holster. I've never ever anyone's seen anyone carry a gun like this guy carries a gun. It's so much about this is bizarre, and this is us thinking this too. But it's also the professionals that are thinking this, and they're saying the same things. This is so bizarre. Let me get back to some of your questions. It's so weird. So much about it's weird. First of all, if this would be a ransom case, they are super rare. So rare. It seems like all the cases that we talk about are so rare, though, right? Different things. These things don't usually happen, but this is even rarer than so many other things that we've talked about or covered or other cases, if this is what it's going to be. Let me see, where were we? Check out old Gibbo's channel. He's doing a lot of great work. I see he constantly shares things about missing persons groups, and I see people coming out, talking in different groups. There was the mother of the one young lady that I saw in a group that you invited me into, Gibbo, and that's really cool when you get that. Bossy, good to see you. So you get the families are involved, and I couldn't imagine what they feel like, but I would have to think that it would be cool to know the support is there, and it's somebody's, hey, we're trying to help, we're sharing your stuff. What is up, rescue? So I have my office. I'll show you. I'll take a couple pictures of my office here relatively soon. The stuff that I have hanging up, I have some new stuff going up too. But one of the things you'll see up there will be the Delphi and the floor signs. I'm taking that out of my room upstairs and putting it in there, which is pretty cool because I hope people ask me, what does that mean? And let me tell you about it. I'll tell you what it means. Mustang, unfortunately, I do not. I think something happened very early on, and I don't. And the police. So here's something, and I don't know how all this works. If someone has more medical training, please chime in and please correct me on this. But I could tell you for a fact, I was on a call one time where it's about 8:30. It's like change of shift. It was probably we changed shift at 8 o'clock. So a little bit after 8 o'clock, we get called to force entry on the door of a guy that we don't know there's a medical condition. So we get there. The paramedics tell us that his pacemaker quit working at 7:03 a.m. The hospital got a notification. They know where the guy lives. So the hospital called 911 and said, hey, this guy's pacemaker stopped at whatever time, and then we get dispatched to break the door. We go in, the guy is deceased. So I don't know if every pacemaker is like that. This was about 10 years ago. And this hospital was miles away from where this guy was. There was no internet signal. There's no Bluetooth signal. But when his pacemaker quit going, the hospital got a notification and they called 911 because they knew where the guy lived at. I don't know if they knew his location. I just know that maybe they just went to his house. I don't know how it worked. I don't know how bad off the guy was leading up to it. All we did was break the door in. Unfortunately, he went in. He had a dog, so they had to get the dog catcher to get the dog. Dog was doing what it's supposed to do. It was literally sitting on top of him. Dog catcher gets the guy out, and the guy's clearly deceased. There was no reason to shoot the dog or anything to get to the guy. The dog was just doing what it was supposed to do. We were able to see the guy was clearly deceased. The pacemaker had been off for quite a while. I don't know what took the lag in time from the hospital notification to calling 911, but I don't know if we'd have been able to do anything anyway. I cannot speak for Nancy Guthrie's mother's pacemaker or Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker because I have zero idea. Medically, a lot of people in this chat are better than me, but I can tell you from that one experience that that's 100% what happened. And that was about 10 years ago. I don't know how they work now, but you would think that with technology, they would, get better. Jinx, very amateur. Or I heard another guy say, and he's just throwing things out there, could this guy have been so good that he wanted to act and look like, a goof? And one of the things the behavior people say, I'm in the behavior panel, he doesn't normally carry a gun. I don't know if Ruckus is in this chat or Ruckus watched this video, former police. My brother noticed it. We talked about it. The guy doesn't carry a gun often because he's constantly touching it. Make sure it's there. Don't go off. Don't go off. Especially where he has it at, right? You don't want it to go off there. Don't go off. Don't go off. Don't go off. I don't carry a gun. I have guns in the house, but I don't carry one. But I could totally see that if you're not used to that. You have something attached to you that can kill at any time, can kill you, hurt yourself, and there's nothing else you're carrying like that. Even if you carry a knife or something. But that's just my thought there. They supposedly linked the holster to Walmart with the other stuff. Here's a question that I have not been able to have answered by anyone yet. I don't know if anyone in the chat knows anything or thinks anything, and I'm going to get to your questions here in a second because I'm rolling right now. They have these 40 pictures, and they go to these gun stores, right, with 40 names, which we're pretty sure has happened, unless it's some kind of really crazy optical illusion the police are trying to portray. To one guy even got in trouble by the NRA. Like, don't fucking help them. Or there were some gun people that came out and said you shouldn't have done this. But this guy told a story. Yeah, I helped him. I want to help this lady. Where are they so sure about this weapon? How are they so sure to go to the gun stores with pictures and guns? Like someone just bought this gun. Why would they do that? How would they know that? Is there any other video? Is there more evidence for the reason that they're looking at this gun? And I don't know if anyone's thought about that a lot. I have, because I haven't seen anything that showed me that this is what kind of gun it is. The experts say it appears to be a semi-automatic weapon. I don't know if they can somehow tell exactly what it is. But even if they were able to tell exactly what it is, the FBI has some kind of crazy shit that they can look through that holster or something. How do you know they just bought it? And why are you going to local gun stores with pictures and 40 names? Where did these names come from? Is this a Google search? Is this guys that were searching guns for those 40 days and it's that type of weapon? We heard about the Google search history where things spiked at certain times. One of the times early on was when Savannah went back home and did her story. People looked that up, but then there were some other odd times, and then Google clacked back with some technical jargon that I really don't understand, and I'm not going to try to repeat because I'll just really sound stupid. So, yeah. But what are your thoughts there? I mean, my thing is, like, they seem very, very aware of this weapon and what it is and who may have bought it. And why would they think that it's exactly this kind of weapon and it was just sold? You're just looking. Did anyone recently buy this gun? This is what this one guy told us, the guy with like the reddish hair, kind of like, real white complected guy. And he was talking and said, yeah, they had 40 names and they had pictures. And I don't know if he said he helped them or not. Even if he could help him, the police probably say, hey, don't say anything here. But the guy, I understand. He was like, man, I tried to help. I feel bad for this, older lady missing. She's from the community. I want to help. And if I can help get the bad guys, man, let's get the bad guys. But, other people had problems with it. Hey, I get it. You know what I mean? You only have to put what you have to put on it. That's Arizona State. You have a lot of, gunslinger types, maybe literally and figuratively out there. But it's just a thought. So I just wonder how they got that. And it would be something that we hear about, or is this some kind of crazy thing that they're throwing off to the side? And as we get a little further down, I think that's what the whole Mexico thing is. Burglary gone wrong. I think there's no chance of that. Zero chance of that. From what I've researched, let's talk about that before I answer your questions. I'm going to get all you guys here. Believe me. Burglary going wrong. I put zero credibility into that. A lot of things. Yeah. Do burglaries happen overnight? Sure. The majority don't. They happen in the daytime during certain hours. If you look like 12 and 1 p.m., it's very bizarre. And in 2023 or 24, there was an anomaly where there was burglaries were between like 12:59 a.m. and 1 p.m. or something. Like, it was really weird compared to other years. Burglaries over the years have dropped drastically, but the police solving rate for burglaries is still like 11%. So unfortunately, have your home defense, have, something up there to try to deter people from even trying your door. And maybe that day you left it open. So something out there. And you know what? Some people feel differently about guns, but I have multiple weapons in my house, and I would encourage you to have multiple weapons in your house. And I'm pretty democratic, but when it comes to guns, whatever you feel comfortable with, you should be able to have. You do something bad with it, then you're in trouble. But Jinx says this case is wild as fuck. If they suspect crossing into Mexico, things really dicey. There's certain cartel leader was given forever nap. Well, they've given many people forever naps over there, or dirt naps, as King Benny would say in the movie Sleepers. But yeah, I don't know. So the burglary thing, so the experts that I've listened to, and here's what I'm listening to, by the way, the Interview Room with Chris as the host. They're fantastic. Dr. Mercado's on there. Dr. Ann Burgess were on there, has been on there. Dr. Ann Burgess, as you know, if you watch this channel, if you watch the show Mindhunters, she was the female on the show Mindhunters, and she's very clear that she's straight and she has a husband. She doesn't know why they portrayed her as liking women in the show. She doesn't have a problem with it. She actually thinks it's funny, but she always does mention, hey, ladies, don't come at me. I have a husband, but it's a funny thing. But she was there from the beginning with Robert Ressler and John Douglas. And Dr. Mercado is fantastic, right? Dr. Mercado is shot out of a can. I love his energy. But the interview room, check him out. Brian Ettman Investigates. I've seen him before, but I haven't really followed him. So the guy that I'm going to talk about here in a second, Jim Fitzgerald, is a former profiler with the FBI, and he was on with Mr. Ettman here. So let me get to your comments, and I have a couple other things to show you before we get into that. I think they did. I hope I'm wrong. I so hope I'm wrong. But there's not many of these cases, but when they do happen and there isn't proof of life right away, something is way wrong. The Lindbergh baby, I don't know if you guys knew this. The Lindbergh baby was believed was actually dropped coming down the ladder out of the window. It was this rickety rackety built ladder from these guys, and they think that the baby had died at that point. The baby was left on the side of the road uncovered. Looking back now, they knew today they would have seen that. He was just kind of off to the side. The person didn't know them. If the person knew them, the person would cover them up. And John Douglas thinks they could actually solve that crime faster, but that was solved with good old fashioned police work. You have Sinatra's kid. There's a couple that they talk about, but there's proof of life. There's always a proof of life, and there's clear communications. But we'll get into that. I just want to talk to see your questions here. Yeah, and that's something that's absolutely crazy, Bossy. And here's a scenario for you, and I hope I'm wrong. But based on what my experience with pacemakers, it is possible that the family knows that, and I hope I'm wrong, but that she is deceased, and they have to carry out this charade to try to catch the person. Can you imagine how painful that is? Confirmed by multiple people that the family's being directed somewhat by the FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit on what to say. The pleas to the killer, or I shouldn't say to the killer, to the abductor, the person that took Nancy, the direct pleas to them, the direct pleas to humanity. I think we haven't seen a profile yet officially, which I think would help in this case. Maybe they're worried about 1 million more people calling in. Hey, I think I know who it is. But I think it would help it in this case. And this is what Mr. Fitzgerald said. We'll talk about that in a second. He thinks it would be more helpful when you're looking at people before and after. How did they act before and after? They could pretty much tell you how they acted before and after. So that would help. But for whatever reason, they haven't put this out. So I'll give you my little one here at the end. Yeah, I hope I'm way wrong, but it's just, it's kind of the type of people. What do you got? It reported the gun is small automatic and revolver. I heard the same thing. The 40 names are indicated to be people known to the police. Oh, okay. So maybe then they're just rounding up the usual rummies, as they used to say. And maybe people that's done this before, matching that description. That's good. That's good. It's old school police work. That's what they call geographical profiling almost, where they're looking in a certain radius or something like that. But yeah. But I just wonder why they think that they recently got that gun, or maybe they remember the guy. Hey, maybe he bought it 2 years ago. Yeah, I heard the same thing with the semi-automatic gun being carried in a revolver holster. My eyes aren't that good enough to be able to tell the revolver holster. I kind of understand somewhat, I think, why it's a revolver holster if you really zoom in and look at it. But former FBI person described the case in South Carolina where a burglar took an 80-year-old homeowner, didn't know what to do with her, killed her. Yeah, I just don't understand. Here's my big thing with it being burglary going wrong. And again, this is from the experts. Even before hearing the experts, based on my studying stuff like this, people don't do that. They just don't take somebody. If they're a burglar, if they're an arsonist, they don't want anyone home, by and large. If it's simply for profit, and I don't think this is simply for profit. And it's my opinion, and it's the opinion of a lot of other people that are a lot smarter than me, that understand this stuff way better than me. But let me show you a couple things here, if I may. I want to show you there's a pretty good timeline here. I'd like to show you that. We've all seen a video. We've all seen pictures. Ultimately, someone could identify that guy by the picture. I don't think he's working alone at all, but somebody can definitely identify, I think, if they know who the person is. So we're going to share this tab instead. We are going to attempt to make this bigger. Ooh, look at that. Let's see how big that is on StreamYard. That's pretty good, huh? I'll read it out to you too. But just the baseline, just to understand, how these things kind of played out that day. See if I do that, it'll close it. I do a lot of talking, more so than I used to. I don't mind it though. So January 31st, 5:32, Nancy travels to local family's home. That's her daughter and son-in-law. 9:48, family drops Nancy off at home. Garage door opens. Her son-in-law dropped her off, from what we understand. 9:50, the garage door closes. Nancy has a hard time walking. The 2 minutes, even if it was a little more than that, wouldn't shock me. I would hope that the son-in-law would get out. She has trouble walking. Get her to the interior door of the garage, into the house. Okay, see you, Mom. Close the door on the way out. But the garage door does close. February 1st, 2026. Doorbell disconnects at 1:47 a.m. 2:12, software detects person on camera. No video available, no subscription. 2:28, pacemaker app shows disconnect from the phone. The next day, 11:56 a.m., family checks on Nancy. 12:03, 911 call to the police department, sheriff's office, Pima County Sheriff's Office. 12:15, patrol arrives. Missing person is how it was given out to the media initially. Who knows? The sheriffs might have right away been suspicious. But so from 1:47 is when that doorbell camera disconnects, when the guy on the front door with the hold the joint up mask and that book bag from Walmart and that holster carried crazily, finally gets that camera off, and it disconnects at 1:47. 2:12, software detects a person on camera. It's all we got. No video available, no subscription. So I'm not even really sure. I know I've heard things about being inside the house and different things like that. 2:28, the pacemaker app shows disconnect from the phone. So this is what people were talking about. The which would be what? Would be the 41 minutes. You have 41 minutes. So if you hear people talking about the 41 minutes is the doorbell disconnects at 1:47 a.m. 2:28, the pacemaker app disconnects from the phone. So theoretically, I don't know if it's from the phone or from the home Wi-Fi either. I'm not exactly sure, but theoretically, they're in that house for 41 minutes or about 41 minutes. What are they doing for 41 minutes? Who's to say? So maybe it's not exactly 41 minutes, but it's close to that. Could a couple of those minutes be, sneaking around the house, trying to get into the room, or, chances are she's in bed. So you assume the abduction happens in the bedroom, and then you kind of go from there. Did she wake up? Are they saying in one of their things, was it a burglary? She woke up, confronted them. But still, why do you take her? You know what I mean? In the dark, you have a mask on. Unless she knows you, right? I believe someone is an inside player here, as do many of the experts. I wanted to just show you guys that. It's a pretty decent timeline, but as you go back into stuff, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. What are we doing with the 41 minutes? Are you preparing her to take her out? Like, what's happening in there? Is there, hey, we need this, and that. How's it working? What's going on in there? And that's going to be very curious to everybody as time goes on. And eventually, whenever we find out what happens here. So here's the back. This is the back of her home. And there's a little area. We're over here. Here's the back door. I don't even know when this was taken, but I've seen pictures of the back door since, and it doesn't appear to be broken into. They could have fixed it. Who knows? But usually you would see some discoloration in the paint, splintering, something like that. There was an area which she would come out and do journal work here. I think it was off to the side. It's precarious back here. If someone is back here looking or casing the place, if she has a habit of coming out at a certain time, habit of going to bed, whatever the case may be, it's not a neighborhood that's elbow to asshole. It's a little isolated. Looks like a beautiful neighborhood, actually. So here's the front of the house. Here's the view of the back. Here's the sides, just to give you guys perspective on it. So we're here. This is what you're seeing in the camera. Very easily, someone could be off the camera. Very easily, a car could be somewhere else. Theoretically, the car could be over here where the sheriff's car already is. The garage is on the side. So where did they go in? A lot of people speculate they went in through the garage or through this back door and then came out the front door where the blood was found. I'm not exactly sure. I can understand everybody's opinion on all of it, but I just don't know where I sit on that. I look at that blood on the ground. It was dropped real gently. There's no smear marks. There's no drag marks. There's no oomph behind it. You know, it's like a slow bleed, and you listen to the experts tell you that. Here's the other side. But I just wanted to give you guys perspective. Maybe there is, if anybody wants these, I can share them on my page or send them to you. You can easily find them too. I use DuckDuckGo as my engine. I did a new logo. I'll show you real quick, and then I'm going to close this. Tell me what you think. I did it with ChatGPT. So, sometimes when you hit this, there we go. Amateur detective. But I thought it was pretty cool. So I'll check out that logo. Gibbo could properly crop it for me like he did my last one. So, but anyways, I'm going to get to your questions now and talk a little bit about Mr. Fitzgerald. But I just wanted to show you those slides. If anybody wants me to share them, I could share them. You could look up, Nancy Guthrie timeline. There's multiple different timelines in there with probably some more information. So maybe people have some more information already in here for me. Let's see. Let me make sure no one texted me like I'm. Uh-oh, new update. Wow. Literally new update. Hold on. I'm going to email this to myself. Jinx just sent me a new update. Breaking news here on Coach Kev's channel. I like Coach Kev better than Chief Kev. I got to be honest. But, guys at work are like, nah, man, they have to call you Chief. My military peeps. So we got Turbo breaking some news. Let's add that back to the stage. Let's get back in that. Let's back out of it. So literally breaking news. Refresh. Are you ready for this, folks? I haven't fully digested this yet. I'm going to read it to you in a second. Brooke's not watching the show, but she's on the couch. So this is my man, Brian Enton. I'm pretty sure is how you say it. Pretty cool guy. I like his style, I like his delivery. He has a lot of good guests. He interviewed the sheriff. You ever watch the one Foghorn Leghorn, where there was the little chicken that would be in the hen house, like dancing, like, ooh, daddy-o. That's who he reminds me of. Like, he's being cool. Like, he got that shirt on for an interview. You're a sheriff. I'm not saying you got to dress like Commandant Lassard, but dude, you got a fuchsia fucking dress shirt on with the taco meat out. Like, you're a sheriff, man. Act like it, No offense, but he's dressed like Vito Spatafor in his John Travolta days. There's the Soprano reference of the day. Anyways, these two photos, Nancy Guthrie suspect, were taken on different days. Sources confirmed to me and Libby Dean, indicating the suspect appears to have visited Guthrie's house before the kidnapping. That is very interesting. Let me add another theory to that immediately, which was something that someone pointed out early on. They thought that these guys or one of these suspects may have went back after. Not saying it happened, but it's been proposed. So what Brian Enton is saying, these are two different, but does it have to be before? Maybe it's before. You would think it would make sense before the guy's case in the place, but this is really a huge update on this. So there's so much that we don't know, right? What else do they have? Are there ransom demands that we don't know about that they haven't given us? One of the things I'm going to talk about with Jim Fitzgerald, who was on this, Brian Enton, I encourage you all to go watch him tonight. My little page, if I could send people somewhere to follow this case, he's been on it every day. He's not like JLR up in people's shit, in people's yards and stuff. He's respectful. He's talking to neighbors. He pets every dog he sees. Jinx and rescue all the dogs. So if you don't follow him, follow him. He actually talked the other day. Like, it's really cool when people come out with their dogs, because I always pet their dogs. And, people walking dogs are usually good people. And I can't argue with it. But again, these two photos of Nancy Guthrie suspect were taken on different days. Sources, babe, what do you think of that? What? The two pictures were taken different days. Come over here and look. What pictures? So Jinx just sent me this. This is just breaking news. It was breaking here at 7:26. Thank the great Turbo. Those pictures that they showed us, they're taken 2 different days.
Oh, wow. How'd you know that?
FBI, babe.
Oh.
Someone got a source.
Oh, wow.
Or probably, well, I don't know if it's the FBI. It's probably the local cops. Hard to say.
So someone was messing around in the yard.
Or someone was casing the joint, or they went back after.
Oh, wow.
And you think about that camera that was on top of the house. Remember they took that down? I wonder if that was something that they put up. I don't know. This is a whole nother thing. Let me get back into the comments. This is a whole nother thing. I do want to talk about Jim Fitzgerald, but wow, what do you guys think about this? Bossy, I enjoy the interview room on a lot of different stuff, but Dr. Gary Bricado, Brian, I told you I had him in here before. The photos from this case are eerie. They are incredibly eerie. Pat Brown, the profiler, not the Delphi resident. I like her too. She takes no shit and she lays people out when they need it. Nancy Grace does that sometimes. I like watching Nancy Grace. She makes me feel bad for people sometimes. Like that guy, I think his name's Chris McDonough. If the interview room, I hope I'm not saying his name wrong because I'm a fan of his, but she took him to task one time. And then she apologized later because he probably was right about something. They need to look to the northwest, the city of Marana, 25 miles seems to be of interest. No, that's interesting. I haven't heard of that. But I don't think that they went to the border, and I don't know why. I don't think they would have tried to take her across the border. I don't. I think it's local. The people were local. The people knew her. Someone was in that house. Someone had intimate knowledge of that place, in my opinion. So, getting back to that picture. Now, what picture is which? What picture is which? Let's say that one of them was from casing the joint. Does he have the backpack? Or does he just come? Is he just walking around? I would think that the first picture without the backpack would be him. I'm in my casing. I'm in my prowling stage. I could always stop if the cops come and what are you doing? I ain't doing nothing, sir. I got lost. But you got that backpack on or you have something with you. You've committed to commit that crime. What do you think? Or did they go back? People are just going to assume it was ahead of time, unless they said it's ahead of time, but I don't read that as ahead of time. But the likelihood is it's ahead of time. The likelihood is that it's ahead of time. But I've heard someone else mention that. That's just what made me think of that. And it was a professional guy. I agree too, and that's what I'm going to read to you. Let me just read to you now what he said, because we're hitting on it, and I think that Annalise, we are definitely into the same type of stuff, true crime wise here with the profiler stuff. So Jim Fitzgerald is a guy's name. He's a retired FBI profiler. He worked on Unabomber. He worked on DC Sniper. He worked on 9/11 profiles for the pilots and what he calls adjacent people, to make sure everyone that helped them got their fair share of Patriot missiles up their ass. So, but anyways, Jim Fitzgerald, it's called the Cold Red Podcast. Another really cool guy. And if you look at this guy, he kind of looks like the head vampire from The Lost Boys. right? He was Dennis the Menace's dad, I think, in the one movie. Forget the guy's name, but he has like this long like hair, like he's kind of like maybe a hippie inside, where he was waiting to get out of the FBI. Yeah, now I could grow my hair and smoke jammers or whatever. But Cold Red is what it's called, and this is what he and his partner, who wasn't on the show, but this was yesterday or the day before on the Brian Enton channel. I encourage you to go check out a lot of his stuff. And this is who's breaking this news today. The Great Turbo is breaking it to us, but Brian Enton is breaking it to the world. That just came out 7:26, so that's 17 minutes old. That tweet came out, and thank you to the great Jinx who sent that to me to update in the middle of my show, make me look really smart and like a really good podcast host. So I thank very much. But that's wild. This whole case is wild. It was actually a friend from KDK, the local news station, for something. I want to make sure Jinx didn't have another update for me. But that's pretty wild. So if you're just coming in, Brian Enton is reporting with cooperation from Libby Dean that these two photos were taken at different days. It doesn't say what's before and what's after or how it broke down, but that is really wild. And for the people that were saying that the guy didn't have a backpack, I wasn't sure. I thought that you'd be able to see those little reflective things, but sometimes the camera does funny things. I wasn't ready to say that. Then I'm thinking like, wow, my initial thought was, well, did the guy come back? Did he come back for some reason or something like that? So, the plot continues to thicken on this case. And I think everybody, if you're lucky enough, you have a grandmother or a mother that lives to this age, and you think, what if someone took her out of her home forcibly for whatever reason? It's beyond bizarre. Dr. Mercado was just clearing the table and getting rid of, all the crazy stuff. And what he said is he looked through all his data, all his cases, and he could never find a case that he worked or knew about or read about or learned about that someone abducted an elderly woman for any kind of essay purposes. He's like, I'm going to rule that out. So I know people have talked about that. So in some kind of way of comfort, the experts say that that's not what this is about. But Jim Fitzgerald, Cold Red podcast, he believes this is an infatuation with Savannah Guthrie. Okay. He thinks someone is infatuated with the host of the Today Show. Maybe sent something in the mail, got something back like a standard fan reply letter, or the Jim Fitzgerald even says maybe like a 8x7 or 8x10 or something like that, as they would in the old days. He said when he worked for the FBI, he was friends with the former NYPD officer who was the head of the Today Show security, and he said 3 to 4 times a year he would call him and say, "Can you check this person out? So and so is getting letters." It's a lot of times it's female. I shouldn't say almost always. On occasion males, but almost always female. I think that's safe to say. I think I can say that. But it's males and females that get infatuated. They start threatening. They start getting close. Jim Fitzgerald thinks someone might have taken her as some kind of infatuation / payback, revenge type thing to hurt her. And this is what he said. He talked about the pre and post offense behavior. Pre-offense behavior would be a lot of internet searches leading up to that weekend. There'd be a heightened sense of just arousal with the person. They'll really be jacked up. Their fight or flight will be really spiked up. Afterwards, different things. Maybe they don't have time. They don't want to leave a place. They need to stay somewhere. They're buying inordinate medical supplies or different amounts of food or just different things like that, calling off work, keeping different hours. He believes that all the notes are from the scammers. Everything that we've seen publicly, he thinks it's all from scammers. His opinion that we've seen publicly. And he says maybe there's stuff behind the scenes. Here's something else. So, movie stars will have stalkers and things like that we hear about. And sometimes it's deadly, TV people or whatever. But when you have news people and you have people that sit and talk to you, it's different. Some of these folks with these mental illnesses are attracted to this. So he thinks, for the most part, the news people are going to get this treatment more than even movie stars do. Movie stars talk to another actor, they have this or that going on, but the news people are talking to you. And usually, if you're not crazy or have something going on with you up there, not good, you don't think they're necessarily talking to you. They're just reading the news. Hey, it's going to snow tomorrow, or whatever the hell, or hey, there was a wreck today on this road. But these people think that they're talking to them, and that makes it even a more kind of grabs you more, if you will. So that's what he had to say. He believes there's a Tucson connection, whether the person lived there, it lives there now, and this is kind of what he had to say. He said, if it is a kidnapping for profit, they did an absolutely horrible job. Like a lot of the other experts have said, the people that I follow, your John Kelly's, the people that I've talked about here already tonight, and it just doesn't make sense. It's such a rare crime. It's such a rare crime. But again, we don't know what they got. This was not a stranger that just ran up on a house and picked that house that night and said, we're going to take this lady out. I don't think so. But I don't want to sound crazy or go on a ledge here, but the more I look at that picture and the more I've thought about this before, I just wonder if that one of those pictures was later on, was after, and they came back. I don't know. I don't know why I think that. Someone put that in my head earlier. I could be totally wrong on it. But it's something to think about. It's perspective, because most people are all going to assume that the guy was there first. But again, this is the case where you shouldn't assume anything. It's absolutely crazy, right? Every step of the way, it's crazy. Let's see what everyone has to say. I have the chief on the laptop and chat on my phone. Thank you, Gibbo. Gibbo, you living in the future. Like the logo, thank you. Yeah, I literally just put it in chat GPT. That's where I got the Coach Kev logo with the basketball guy. And I thought it was cool because I put it in and it just came up detective one time. And I was like, I can't have detective. So I had to put amateur underneath it. Well, thank you, Gibbo. I keep my shirt on for you, so you have a chance. Was said in the beginning, I think, by the sheriff that the back door was wide open. Neighbors recently have said the neighborhood is so safe. Lots of people don't lock their doors. Yeah, it's a story you hear so many times. And, we all kind of came together through Delphi and Flora, small communities. When do we keep our doors locked? And a small community and a safe community is always a small and safe community till it isn't. I wish it was like a little bit different. Like when I grew up, even in the 80s, and I lived in a rough town too, but you don't always lock your doors. I remember doing that till I was maybe turned like 10, 11 or 12. But you just got to do it now. For the people that are going around and trying car doors, a lot of them don't want to smash a window. They want to draw attention. If your door's open, they're going to take what you got. But if you keep your doors locked, then maybe that you're just trying doors. That is confirmed. It is said the one without the gun backpack was taken on January 11th. I'm surprised they got that image. So January 11th. Wow. So you're 3 weeks, right? Yeah, give or take. 3 weeks, just under 3 weeks. Yeah, that I would. Conventional thinking would lead you to believe that. I just thought in this case, and something that was in my head that someone had brought up before about going back, and it just stuck with me for some reason, because then whatever they had on top of the house they took down that day that I didn't see there before. I don't know. I could be going on the spectrum on that a little bit too far, but yeah, maybe that's the first thing that's kind of normal about this case. I think one's camo. Let's see how big I can make it. Not like that, huh? Well, man, I don't have the eyes, guys. I told you that with pictures that we had in other cases. Is the mask the same? The body type? It's hard to tell. Or is this number two? I believe there's more than one person that have done this, but wild, huh? I haven't heard that rumor yet. I haven't gone totally in depth here, too deep. I've watched a couple shows, and I've done some research, but I haven't gone like all ball. I was gonna say balls deep, but like super deep into it. And I don't get too many theories anymore. I don't really go on Reddit. On occasion, I go on Reddit, but not too often. Yeah, that's wild. And is it the same person, right? They're standing two different ways. I would think that they would have a really good idea, the police, but it's just we don't know what else they got. You know, it's hard to say. We don't know what else they got, and everyone says that. Well, I don't know about that, but thank you, Jinx. All the professionals like this is what we think, but we don't know what else they got. What do I think is in the backpack? Okay, what I think is in the backpack, and I agree with a lot of other people, is some kind of tarp, some kind of cover. What they were going to do with it, I don't know. Would put it on her head, take her out of the house? I don't know. Were they going to try to use it to pull her? Were they going to try to, disable her or, pull her on it, carry her with it? So one of the reasons that I kind of think there's a hospital background here, or some kind of, even if it's a low hospital background, one of the things they move people, and there's a way to move people with sheets in hospitals, and we even do it at times in emergency services. I just wonder if they were that was used to somehow move something there. I can't imagine what they would use it in the house for, but I think if there was tools in the bag or tools of the trade or breaking into house stuff, you'd see that at the bottom of the bag. What I saw looked like a folded blanket or a folded tarp. So I think it was something like that. And I think it was used somehow in the transportation process. I don't know how. And that probably doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm sorry if it doesn't, but it's just, yeah, that's just what I think. It's there's so many missing pieces. So we're guessing at best, but that's what I think it is. 2 teens from California to Scottsdale did become home invasion and demanded $6 million in Bitcoin. They were caught. Some wonder about a pattern. Did they stay in that house or did they take them somewhere else? I was just curious. Yeah, Bitcoin, I don't know how untraceable it is anymore. Oh, Gibbo, you're too nice. Thank you for the subscription for 3 months. Schedule's normalizing, so I'll be able to do some more stuff here very soon, guys. And I'll be able to share a bunch of other stuff. You won't see maybe as many lives, but you'll be able. I'll share a lot of cool stuff from work, and a lot of cool things that we have and goes on. Yeah, so the watch thing I heard about too, a certain position. I've heard about that certain position and stuff on the dresser. But so it could have maybe that person did it, but there's no proof of life. So you have to do better than that for proof of life. Maybe that's the person that took her, and something happened and they're not alive anymore. But yeah, I have heard that too, but I don't know if it's. Yeah, I am Tom Webster behind on chat. I'm only 7 minutes behind. That guy gets 1,000 comments. I'll be 45 minutes behind. And I'll put a great comment in there or even compliment. Yeah, that's a nice polo. You got that pastel polo. I like to wear stuff with the little shirt underneath. Looks fantastic. And he'll be like, well, I'm going from 7:15 to 8:15. Wank. Those hour comments are out, but he gets so many, so I can't be that far behind. Thank you, Mustang. Appreciate it. Very cruel, yes, very cruel. And you wonder how people can do that. Those people that are sending those for money, those people are what we call psychopaths or sociopaths. Uh, either way, probably some kind of antisocial personality disorder. Hey, there's Ruckus. I was talking about you before. What did I say about Ruckus before? That he would have said something right away. Old police officers. I can't remember what it was. Chief, thank you. Thank you. Oh, Ruckus, put a comment in on what you think about the guys carrying a gun. That's so 17 minutes and 30 seconds ago. $5,000 super chat, huh? Well, keep hitting send. Yeah, Ruckus, I just wonder what you thought about the way that guy carried the gun. I think that's what we were talking about. Have you ever seen anyone carry a gun like that? And, oh, no, here's what I said. He kept touching the gun. So Ruckus would tell you, as someone that's always carried a gun, I'm sure loaded, whether running the chamber or not, he's comfortable with it. People that aren't comfortable carrying a gun, they tend to touch it all the time, just like, oh still there. My leg's still there. My Plexico Burris myself here, you know. For those of you who don't know, Plexico Burris was the New York Giants player who shot himself in the leg and went to jail for 5 years because he was in New York City. Jinx, I can't thank you enough. I don't know about president. I don't want to get assassinated. I don't lie enough. I'd be walking around punching a lot of people in the face if I was president, because I would have the right to names that people don't have, and I would just walk around and just sock people. That's it. Boom, here it comes. Somebody would beat me up though. I'm not undefeated. Someone would hit me back. Someone probably surprised me, but hey, it'd be worth it. Did a quick search on Secret Life of Nancy. The garbage appears to have been written by AI. Well, I'm not surprised by that. I wonder if when they're getting these messages, let's just say the FBI. Ruckus, by the way, these two pictures we're talking about, I don't know if you saw Turbo shared it, but Brian Enton is a guy that I've been watching on this show. These pictures were from 2 different dates. I think I've been saying her name wrong. Anna Lissette, I think is the way I should say it. If I'm wrong, let me know. She has said that January 11th was the first one without the backpack, and the second one was the night of the kidnapping. I hope I said that correctly. But they're 2 different dates. And I proposed early on, maybe they came back. There's something about, I thought they went back or somebody went back. And I don't know why I feel, I heard it early on and it's just something that kind of stuck with me. But yeah, anyways, First Lady. Oh, she'd be an amazing First Lady. There's no doubt. Better looking than them all, too. Jackie Kennedy style, right? No offense to Mrs. Obama or Mrs. Trump, both beautiful women with their own style. I haven't considered AI. It's crazy, CJK, because it's absolutely possible. People talked about the images, the video being AI, and the cops are doing this to run some wild goose chase to help get the people caught. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Gibbo again and Jinx again. Yeah, I'm going to plan on doing more. You're going to see more stuff that isn't necessarily lies, but videos. Next month, we're going to honor guys for a fire we had at a council meeting. That's going to be really cool. I hope to do some video there to show you what it's like. We have new guys getting sworn in full time. March the 4th, it's a whole thing, man. It's going to be wild. It's going to be a great day at the fire station. So maybe I go around live and get some of the people to say what's up. I don't know. What do you guys think? Sounds pretty cool. And everything stopped. Hopefully this comes back. I don't know what happened. My timer quit running. I hope we didn't go to black. I've been having more problems with this than I know what to do with. I don't know if we're rolling anymore. My chat has stopped. I can't get back on the live comments. I've been having more trouble with StreamYard, I got to tell you. I think I got to let it go, StreamYard. I can't do anything. I don't know if I'm even talking or if you guys can hear me, but everything is froze up at 59 minutes and 19 seconds. So I was going to be finished up, whether you could hear me or not. My chat isn't moving. I hope you can. I know YouTube has had some issues. We don't blame us on StreamYard. YouTube has had some hiccups this week. I hope that we didn't hit that 8 o'clock mark and something goofy happened. But I don't know if you can hear me or not. If you can't hear me and you can't watch the end of this, I will come back on my page and post something where you understand what's going on. But I'm not sure we zonked out. But I did cover everything I wanted to cover. I told you what I think happened. There's an inside player. Dr. Mercado said it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's someone close to the family, someone with intimate knowledge of the house, if not someone in the family. I know what police have said. I don't think they took her across the border. I think it's possible that the person that may have done this and something has gotten out of hand, maybe they have fled there. But okay, good. We're still alive and can hear and see you. Good. Nothing's moving for me, but I'll finish what I have to say anyway. Thank you. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to turn out well. But I do think they will catch these people, and I definitely think it's more than one person. 2 or 3. One of them, I think, has some kind of medical background. Even if it's working in like, not to discourage anything, but like a nursing home or like an aide or something like that. I think that there's some kind of medical something or other. I think they've been in that house before. I think they had intimate knowledge of something. And I agree with Jim Fitzgerald. Oh, hey, we're back. And I think I agree with Jim Fitzgerald, the profiler from Cold Red is the name of his podcast. I encourage you to check that out. I think that there's some kind of infatuation with Savannah Guthrie or there's something to do with her. I truly, truly believe that. And it doesn't have to be a crazy fan. It could be a family member that holds some kind of grudge against her, and they're doing this to hurt her. And I hope I'm wrong, and I hope they took her, whisked her off somewhere, and she's fine, and they catch the people. But, I don't know. We shall see. So I'm going to leave it to that. I'm back, but here I still can't. The chat still isn't moving. So I thank everyone that came in tonight. I appreciate the subscriptions, Gibbo, Jinx, everyone that came in. Let me know what you thought. If you want me to, I'll just do it anyway here tonight. I'll share what I have, what I put out, the timeline, things like that. They're all easy to find and look up, and always do your own research too. And if you find anything, Kevlar148gmail.com, something that's interesting, or you have a theory or something, I'm always listening. I mean, this is another case that's just like, there's so many things that don't make sense, and the experts are telling you that. This is a rare case. If it is a ransom, it's incredibly rare. Kidnapping for ransom, abduction for ransom. Guess it'd be kidnapping for ransom, not really abduction, but I don't know. It's absolutely wild. I hope they find her, but I'm confident they will find the people that were responsible for this, and I believe it's people. It's multiple people. So I'm going to leave you to it. Look for more cool stuff coming up here on the channel, more fire department related stuff, fire chief shit, if you will. Maybe I'll have a show called that once in a while, fire chief shit, where I can tell you some stuff that we do, funny, good, bad, and everything in between. So I thank you all so much, as always. I'm out of Gatorade. I need to drink more. So have a drink for me, and I'll be back real soon. You got anything for me, send it over, Kevlar148gmail.com, and I'll hear from you all soon. Hope everyone has a good night. Stay warm. And the warmer weather's coming for us here in the United States, especially in the Midwest and the Eastern Seaboard.